Today I'm going to show you how you can use databases in your plugins to store and retrieve data. We will look at SQLite today and MySQL databases in a later episode. To increase performance, we're going to use HikariCP, which is the industry standard when interacting with databases in Java. Since opening and closing connections to a database are resource-intensive tasks, we use HikariCP to keep a pool of connections. You can imagine it as a caching for database connections. So first, let's get the dependency for Maven. Google HikariCP Maven, select your version and copy the dependency tag. Then in the plugin project, open the pom.xml and add the dependency here. Then make sure to reload the Maven project, and now you should be able to access Hikari objects. Usually you would shade the dependency to include it in the plugin jar, but this increases the size of your final plugin jar and we don't want that. So what we are going to do is to let the server download and manage the Hikari dependency automatically. Many people don't know this, but you can add a libraries section in your plugin.yml, like so, and then define a list of dependencies that the server should download from Maven Central. So you're going to start with the group ID, this, then a colon, the artifact ID, colon again, and then the version. And then when you put the plugin on your server and start the server, you can see that it automatically downloaded the HikariCP dependency. And it is saved in the libraries directory right here. And now to actually connect to the database with HikariCP, we first need to create a Hikari data source object. So private Hikari data source, call it data source, and we're going to initialize it in the onload method. Data source is equal to new Hikari data source. And to set the location of the SQLite database file, we simply do this.datasource set jdbc URL. The URL string starts with JDBC, which stands for Java Database Connectivity. Then the kind of database we are going to use, in this case SQLite, colon, and then the path to the database file. In our case, I want it to be stored in the plugin directory, so I simply create a new file with the directory being get data folder, and the name of the file should be data.db. And make sure to create the data folder with get data folder.make directories. You can also print a message if the directory has been created by checking if the method returned true, then simply logging something to the console. Data folder has been created. And now you can see we get the message data folder has been created, and inside the plugins directory we now have an episode 12 directory. Now let's set up a demo table inside a new method. I'm going to call this method initTables, and I will create it in the same class. As an example, I'm creating a table that saves the name of every player when it joins the server along with the time. So the SQL statement for that would be create table if not exists. Let's call it players. The columns we want to have is first the name of the player, which is text, and then the timestamp when the player joined. So joined at with a type of timestamp and a default value of current time stamp, semicolon. This will automatically insert the correct time when the player joined. And now to execute this SQL statement, we need to obtain a new connection object from our Hikari data source. We can do that in a separate method again, and this returns this data source get connection. Add the exception to the method signature, and now we can call that method inside our initTables method. So try, then catch SQL exception. Let's just print the exception to the console with get logger severe get message, and then inside here we can obtain a new connection object. Since connection is something closable, we need to close the connection in the end when we're done, but as you can see it implements auto-closable. And that means we can use a try with resources block by adding parentheses here and simply pasting the variable inside of that. And now you can see we no longer need to manually close the connection. We can do the same with our statement, final prepared statement, and this is equal to connection.prepareStatement and pass the SQL string from above. Now we can simply execute the statement with statement.execute update. Then start the server and check if the database file has been created. To view the content of the database, you can either download DB, browser, SQLite, this one, or if you have IntelliJ Ultimate, like I do, you can add the database as a data source, like so. Select SQLite from here, select the database file, in my case it's server, plugins, episode 12 and data.db. Test the connection, and if everything worked, you can apply and click OK. Then this query console window opens and you can check if the table exists with select everything from players. Execute with Control or Command Enter. And you can see the table correctly exists with the name and joint add method. You can also insert values manually like this, insert into players, and we want to insert a name only because the joint add column is updated automatically and the values for that is, for example, this name. Then execute again. Now you can see the name is inserted and the joint add column is automatically filled with the correct date. And now the only thing left to do is to create the listener to automatically insert players when they join the server. So inside the onEnable method, register a new listener with get server, get plugin manager, register events, this and this, implement listener from org.bucket.event, and then create the event handler, public void on join event. And to add a new entry to the database, we're going to create yet another method which expects a player called player, and then follow the same pattern. Create the SQL query first and then execute it inside a try-catch block. So the statement will be what we just did here. Insert into players, we want to insert the name, and the value will be a placeholder for now because we're going to dynamically set it inside the try-catch block. Then create the try-catch block, obtain a new connection object with getConnection, and create the prepared statement. And this is connection.prepare statement of SQL. Then add the catch block with an SQL exception and log the error to the console. Then inside here we need to set the placeholder with statement set string. Why string? Because we want to set the player name, which is of type string. We only have one placeholder to set, so the index will be 1 and the value will be player get name. Then execute with statement execute update. And now the only thing left to do is to call this method whenever a player joins. We do that asynchronously to not block the main thread, and you do that with bucket get scheduler. The plugin is this, and the runnable is simply add player join with event get player. Then restart the server and join. No errors, and if you update the query output, you can see we now have a second entry with the correct time.